A number of people had gathered to watch the reunion when a keeper pushed his way through the crowd and asked grandfather what he was doing. So, see, when we are going to the zoo and when we are doing such things to a tiger in the zoo, people normally will be getting afraid and they will be looking what will be happening the next moment. So that the same thing happens here. A number of people had gathered to watch the reunion when a keeper pushed his way through the crowd and asked grandfather what he was doing. "I'm talking to Timothy," said grandfather. "Weren't you here when I gave him to the zoo 6 months ago?" So grandfather is thinking he is speaking to Timothy. So he is asking to this man, this keeper, I have handed over him 6 months ago. So at that time you weren't here? Then the keeper is telling, "I haven't been here very long," said the surprised keeper. "Please continue your conversation, but I have never been able to touch him myself. He is always very bad-tempered." So the keeper is advising grandfather, even that means the keepers are already friendly with these caged animals. So he is telling, even he is very bad-tempered, so that I also unable to touch him. So this time what is grandfather doing? Grandfather is holding his hands around his neck. He is stretching and patting over his body. "Why don't you put him somewhere else?" suggested grandfather. "That leopard keeps frightening him. I'll see the superintendent about it." That means he is telling he had seen the leopard in the next cage is always disturbing him. So he is asking, "Why don't you keep Timothy in another place?" Grandfather went in search of the superintendent of the zoo, but found that he had gone home early. And so, after wandering about the zoo for a little while, he returned to Timothy's cage to say goodbye. It was beginning to get dark. It was beginning to get dark means it was beginning to evening. So that means, so grandfather was very complained about keeping Timothy along with that leopard. So he went to see the superintendent to tell him, to insist him to take away Timothy from that place. And he could understand that the superintendent went early home. So he came back to Timothy's cage to say goodbye since it was getting dark. He had been stroking and slapping Timothy for about 5 minutes when he found another keeper observing him with some alarm. So he again came back to Timothy's cage and he was trying to say goodbye. By the time he was stroking and slapping means he was just patting him with love. He was showing his expressions. By the time another keeper of the zoo reached there. Grandfather recognized him as the keeper who had been there when Timothy had first come to the zoo. So this keeper was observing because he could understand that this grandfather is treating that tiger just like Timothy, because whenever grandfather handed Timothy there, this keeper was there. "But sir," stammered the keeper, "it's not your tiger." Stammered means with afraid. His sound is just like murmuring. So he stammered, the keeper, "It's not your tiger. This tiger is not yours." I know, said grandfather. "I realize he is no longer mine, but you might at least take a suggestion to inform from me." So he is telling, but he is very angry because he is keeping along with that leopard who is continuously disturbing him. So he is telling, "I know it's not mine now, but it was once mine. I remember your tiger very well," said the keeper. "He died 2 months ago." So this keeper is telling, I know well about your tiger. Whenever you have to brought that tiger here, I was here. But that tiger, your tiger, died 2 months ago. Died, exclaimed the grandfather. Yes, sir, of pneumonia. He had pneumonia and he died. This tiger was trapped in the hills only last month and he is very dangerous. This is a very dangerous tiger. He was caught from the hill last month only. Grandfather could think of nothing to say. The tiger was still licking his arm with increasing relish. So he was licking his arm not with love. How he was licking his arm? He was smelling a fresh food. Grandfather took what seemed to him an age to withdraw his hand from the cage. So at that time what happened? When he realized that the tiger he was showing love and affection is not his tiger, he was died and it's a extremely highly dangerous tiger. He tried to pull back his arm, but it take an age means it take a long time to withdraw because the tiger was smelling a fresh food. With his face near the tigers, he mumbled, "Good night, Timothy," and giving the keeper a scornful look, walked briskly out of the zoo. So, what happened? Now, he has a little afraid and he is thinking, Timothy, he just said good night, Timothy, and he looked the keeper a scornful look means look with very hatred and such kind of look, because they didn't kept his Timothy, they didn't look his Timothy well. This could be the reason why Timothy died. So this lesson is very interesting as well as it gives us a moral, that is, incredible animals cannot be domesticated. So when they are young, we can treat them just like other animals, but when they grow, they will show their own hereditary characters. So this moral you have to keep in mind that incredible animals cannot be domesticated. This is also applicable in the case of humans who are not trustful. The exercise of the lessons will be discussed through the Zoom and answers will be uploaded through the WhatsApp. Thank you.